Let's just go. Hello, and welcome to this month's Gin Me live tasting. We are Tristan.
I'm Tom.
And we happen to be on a holiday this month, so we're broadcasting to you live from a beautiful villa here in the south of Spain on the Costa del Sol near Nerja, which you can see in the background. Which is kind of cool, isn't it?
It's pretty cool, yeah. Yeah, a bit different.
So we're going to make a couple of drinks, but we're also, first of all, going to introduce Paul from Armoric, from the Warengham Distillery, in fact. He's going to talk to us a little bit about Dizoñv Gin, a little bit about the distillery, talk about how the gin's made, and then we'll move on to a cocktail towards the end because we're getting thirsty. So if you are going to make a drink, then make sure you've got stuff to hand. We've obviously got our beautiful Dizoñv Gin. We've got some sugar syrup, which is 2 parts sugar, 1 part water, roughly. Yeah. Some fresh lemon juice, and then some fizzy wine. In our case, we're in Spain, so it's Cava. Anyway, we'll get to that shortly. We're first going to bring in Paul from Warengham. Hey, Paul.
Hello. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. And as I said before, not as warm as you guys. I see it's very beautiful where you guys are. So it looks very nice.
Yeah, no, we're very lucky.
I'm just by the distillery, so welcoming you to Bretagne. A bit colder. So my front camera is actually broken, so I'm gonna do like that. So you're gonna see my face all the time. So that's the view from the distillery here. So yeah, as you said, I'm just gonna walk you through how we do this gin, what it's about the distillery Warengham, because we are more known for Armoric, which is our whiskey, our single malts. But now we also produce gin, really sold locally. But you happen to get some bottles in the UK, but you are the only export market actually that has some. A little bit went to Germany, but otherwise it's all very local here in Brittany that we sell it. So it's a bit of a luck. You have some bottles as well. So Dizoñv is this bottle as well. So I know with Whiskey Me you have those little I don't have the word in English for it. How do you call it?
Pouch.
Pouch. So this is how the bottle looks actually, and it's an organic gin. You can see we really put the organic sign here in front of it. Dizoñv, you can also see zebra around the bottle. So it's a bit of a story behind it, where or not really a big story behind it, because it's just the boss of the distillery. He wanted something that represents most Breton culture. And zebra is really not something with Breton culture or any Celtic culture, but it's about being undomptable. Not like horses that can be, I don't know if the word is dompted, but that you can train a horse to do tasks. A zebra you can't. So it's like it's a fully independent animal. And this gin is about that. It's about the really independent culture we have here in Bretagne. It's all about Asterix and Obelix, this village that was never caught by the Caesar army. So it's all about that with this gin. We use mainly juniper for sure. We really want it to be a gin, so we don't try to go with another flavor or other aromas. It's all about juniper, but then also with our style. So we're gonna see through that when I'm by the stills. So for now on, I just wanted to show you a bit about our facilities. So if ever some of you in the summer or in the next holidays you make in Bretagne, we have a beautiful region and a beautiful distillery you can visit as well. And you called me on the good day because it's just sunny today and beautiful weather. It's happened to be more than 20 today, which is very rare, especially in June. So very nice. So here I'm going down the stairs.
Dizoñv, what does that mean? Does it have an English translation, that word?
So I don't know the word in English, but in French, but not English. It means it's like savage or undomptable. And I think that word doesn't exist. It's like a horse can be trained or can be.
Like wild.
I can't really Google it now. Or maybe I can write it in French, and you can maybe find it.
Okay.
Because I can't translate it right now. Indompté. Yeah. or indomptable. That's like an adjective for someone that
Work on it.
can't be. Yeah, you see. So this is also our shop here. All the products we do, because we also do beers. We do so whiskey is the main product, but beers as well, which are here. I hope the video is still good. Try to go a bit slowly.
Indomitable, I think it is. Indomitable is the translation.
Indomitable, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
I need to know that word. But my English, when it comes to some very precise words, just can't figure my mind. So
that's a word that a lot of English people don't know as well. So it's fine.
Yeah, so indomitable. Okay, that's really translation, but not from French, so from Breton language, from the Celtic language here. And here are some more of the apple brandies, and these are aged, so they all been in a cask. And you got to remember this fine Bretagne, because this is something that we'll speak about later. These apple eau de vie, and also liqueurs here that we do. Chouchen also is a meat. It's the honey wine we do here in Bretagne. Very known, but very known only here. But
So
it's a
distillery has like a very long history of making liqueurs, over 100 years, right?
yeah. Distillery so is 120 years old. Started in 1900, and 123 right now, and it's all about the liqueurs until 83. And it's only in 83 that they started with whiskey. Before it was only about plants, liqueurs, fruit liqueurs. So there is a big savoir-faire, so know-how about all these more sweet products and distilled plants. We have a lot of books and history about all these.
Yeah.
And after that, after 83, we still do all those liqueurs, but it's mainly whiskey, almost 80% that is the production here.
What was
but we remain with the
sorry, Paul. What was the driving force, the decision behind moving into whiskey in the early 80s? What do you know? The reason behind that? Why they decided to at that point?
I think it was quite mad decision, because in 83 it's all the Port Ellen, Brora, a lot of distilleries that really closed in Scotland. But the distillery here in France was going to close as well. Fruit liqueurs, plant liqueurs, you didn't have many people drinking that, but you had more and more people drinking whiskey and drinking local national liqueurs. So spirits. So it was during the Élysée is where the president is in France, and there was like a tasting with whiskey that was aged in France, and there was a lot of communication about it. Everyone was like, "Oh, we can also age whiskey here in France and do it," and so they thought, "Oh, we like whiskey," especially they liked whiskey back then, the people of the distillery. But they also thought, "Oh, there is a lot of stuff happening about a French whiskey, so let's try to do it completely, like distill it here, age it here." Use our own cask, use our own water, and so that's what we've been keeping doing since. It's all independent distillery, 22 people, and no groups behind it, so it's really only their decisions that made it choose the whiskey. So that's about the story.
When did the gin launch? It's quite recent, isn't it? The gin, it's not been around too long.
No, gin is about 2 years now, if I'm not mistaken. It's around 2 years, and it's a product that was already drunk a lot in France back then, but you didn't have so many in Bretagne. And we wanted to do one that is really special, not just another gin. And I will go to the stills and explain a bit more to you why we make it a bit differently, and that has different flavors. So now I'm in the cave. Oh, it's very dark. Oh, and the light. So here is the whiskey room. So I can show you very quickly a bit how these are the stills for the whiskey here. But these are not the stills we use for gin. These are only used for syrups. And we have special stills just for.
There's a Wi-Fi dropout.
Yeah, I remember this happening.
The meters in here.
Oh yeah, we lost it for a second.
Oh.
If it, oh, good. So
What
it
happens
can be a little bit noisy.
with like lots of magnetic fields going around the place with all the metal and everything. But you're back, Paul.
Oh yeah, I'm back. Oh yeah, it was interrupted or no, it's good.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Fine now.
So here are the different stills we use. This, the one behind me, that's the one we use for gin. So this one is one of the oldest one we have at the distillery. It's all in inox, so it's not copper. It's all inox, and this is really made for liqueurs. So you can really cook inside, because here we put directly all the plants, all the fruits here inside, and this will really do a maceration. And we do a complete maceration for more than 24 hours of the plants, and then we distill. So process for gin is really you put all the plants inside this distillate. It's a wheat with distillate that we use that is at 40 degrees, and then we distillate it until it becomes 85. And at 85, we reduce it to 40 back again, and then we bottle it. But it's really that maceration and distillation that will integrate all the flavors and keep all the plants aromas inside the alcohol.
And tell us a little bit about the botanicals, because I know you mentioned that it's juniper forward, which we're a big fan of here at Gin Me. We like juniper tasting gins, but there's some non-traditional botanicals in there as well, you might say, right?
Yeah. So one that I didn't know the word in English also before, but I learned it before. One is called meadow sweet. So that's like a little flower that we have here around as well, and that is bringing all those flower aromas and all this freshness to the gin that we really want to have. But what we especially really want to have is the sweetness and fattiness. It's quite a sweet gin, and that's because of the fine Bretagne we use. And this is this cider eau de vie that we bring afterwards inside the gin, and that's around 0.5% to 1%. But as you know, a gin is all about all these little flavors, and already 0.5 or 1% is a lot inside the gin.
And that's
this is
aged, or is it matured in cask and then put in?
No, it's not aged. Yeah. So that's at the peak of flavors in terms of fruitiness. So you have no woodiness at all, no oxidation. It's really eau de vie, white eau de vie of cider, non-aged. And these one come.
Sorry, just to stick on that point a little bit, and just to clarify.
Yeah, of course.
Watching. So the gin is distilled, and then before it's bottled, it's cut with approximately 0.5% or 1% cider brandy, basically, that hasn't been matured. So it's almost like an additional botanical in a way that's being introduced to the gin.
What are the sort of, are there any regulations around that sort of finishing aspect to gin in particular, or because like Tristan said, you don't see it very often, do you? Or you don't hear about it very often.
They are.
It's not very common, or what are the sort of regulations and rules around that sort of thing?
There are some, and I have to put my hands again on those. But Erwan explained me a few days ago that you can't change a certain amount of alcohol inside the gin. So when you bring some other substance, and it's the same for beers. Like for beers, you can't add more than 10% of the So in fact, if a beer is 5% alcohol, it can be brought above 0.5% of alcohol. So I don't know if I'm correct, if I'm precise on that, but yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, if it's 6% beer, it cannot go above 6.6%. And there is some kind of regulation just like that for gin, because we also do it with the rules of London dry gin. We double distillate, and it's all juniper driven. So that also is very important for us. Just like we do with whiskey, we don't want to invent a new wheel or anything. We want to do a product that is in the traditional way, but that you can experiment in a different way. So that's about this gin as well.
Nice. And then There's some other botanicals we've not touched on, I think, aren't there? Did you want to just run through the rest of them? Because is there samphire? Is samphire in there? Is that one of them?
That word I don't know in English.
So the seaweed type thing, like
sea fennel. Yeah. Oh yeah. That we add as well. Yeah. So this one is also added inside and brings this saltiness you have, but only at the finish comes really by the side of the tongues. And the sea fennel is also very important for us because it's come just from down the road where we are just by the sea as well, just as you guys are. So just a bit colder and more humidity. So sea fennel can maybe grow a bit better, but there we have a lot of it.
Yeah.
But it's really more about the Fine Bretagne nowadays. This eau de vie cider that brings even more flavors, because then the sea fennel is about this saltiness that you can have. When you drink it dry, you definitely have it very nicely. And so the stills I can show you just is those are used for the eau de vie, the cider. So these are really beautiful, very, very old style. And this brings you a very fruity, already very fruity.
What size are they, Paul? How big are they? They look quite small.
Yeah, from here on maybe, but they're triple my size. But I'm not a big guy, but I'm already 180 or something. So. But they're maybe not triple, but almost triple. Yeah, they must be around 5 meters or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
But there are so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's eight levels that we have on these column stills. So this is already quite a good still, but you don't go too much high, so you still have all the fruits.
Yeah.
But this bad boy is really a nice technology where you can really macerate inside the still and just leave it there for 24, 48 hours and then distillate again, just with everything in the still cool. Inside the still. Yeah.
The pot itself at the bottom is really tall.
Yeah, here it's very tall. Here it's really 6 meters. Yeah,
it is unusual.
And this is all the cooling system here.
Yeah, the condenser. Yeah, nice, cool. Well, we're so lucky to have it. Like you say, it's really only sold in the local market and now available in the UK as well, which is great. And I just think a really interesting story. The whole blending in the eau de vie. I don't think there's any other gin in the world doing that. Certainly not like. It's French eau de vie, like cider, apple eau de vie.
Yeah, that's very, very good invention from the distillery to do that. Yeah, and bring that to the gin. Yeah. But I think there are now some other brands, if I'm not mistaken, but more in the Calvados. So really with Fine Bretagne, so our eau de vie from Bretagne, from our region. Yeah. No one else is doing it. Yeah.
I get the meadowsweet on the nose. Like you get that slight almondy note that you get. Meadowsweet for me is always like almond and vanilla and floral, and that certainly comes through.
You get quite a bit of anise. That's what anise
licorice. Yeah, I get. If you push it even further, like anise to licorice in the palate, I get with definitely. All this sweet, a bit fatty. Yeah.
Nice,
good stuff.
Is there anything else, or should we make a drink?
Oh yeah, make a drink.
Well, what we thought we'd make, as we've said, we're in the south of Spain, and we're actually surrounded by a relatively small lemon grove, effectively. So we've tons and tons of lemon trees, and we're thinking about the classic French 75 cocktail. Obviously twisting up a little bit with local ingredients using cava, using a cava instead of champagne. But one of the main things that we talk about most months is about how we really want to make drinks that people can make at home, and we want to use ingredients that are very accessible to everybody. So all of the things that we're going to use in this drink are pretty accessible. So we've got effectively 3 ingredients. We've got fresh lemon juice, which we've just hand squeezed here. We have a sugar syrup, which is 2-to-1 sugar to water. Just boiling water, cut down, so it's easier dissolved. Obviously, we have the Dizoñv, gin, which is going to make up a proportion of the cocktail as well, and we're going to top it with cava, effectively. So it's a built drink, which for anyone that's unfamiliar means that it is going to be made directly into the glass.
So make 4 of them.
We can do 4, yeah. Yeah.
We've got a whole lot of ingredients. Yeah, we've got
one for me.
You've got 100 ml of gin in the pouch, and what you're going to put 25 ml in each one. 25. So you get 4 drinks out of one pouch, which is pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you multiply over a bottle, you get 28 drinks out of an entire bottle of gin. This is it's a French drink, of course, as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Spanish wine.
And then you can reuse the pouch. You can reuse the pouch and put the cocktail inside to just go.
Yeah.
Well, good luck pouring a fizzy French 75 into that pouch. But
It's true. So we're going to go with around about 20 milliliters, roughly, of the Dizoñv, straight in the glass, like so.
And 5 out of a pouch.
Probably. 20 to 25 ml of the Dizoñv, and then we're going to go with around about half or just over half of a quantity of fresh lemon juice, which is going to be, I think you've chosen the most difficult vessel to try and pour out of.
We didn't bring unfortunately. So this is going to be...
we'll see how we're going.
Oh, he's nailed it.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Pride. He's a pride.
Well, I mean, it's gradually less lemon juice as we go down. And to be fair, because it's a relatively light syrup, so I'm going to go with about the same quantity of sugar to lemon juice in each of these, like so. But again, you can, a little bit more than that. And you can see, as I say, really simple to make, really easy to make at home. And like Tristan touched on, especially as the weather's improving, it's a great drink that you can make in batches. If you've got friends coming over, you can make a jug of this or make the base ingredients and then just top it up with sparkling wine, which I'm going to do right now. So I'll top these up like so. We'll give them a little bit of a stir, and we're then going to garnish them with just a twist of lemon over the top, seeing as they're so fresh and out of the garden.
Yeah, and unwaxed.
And unwaxed.
Sounds delicious. Yeah.
There you go. And that's it. Very simple.
And also looks good, because it looks really good for when you invite friends over for the aperitivo with those glasses. Yeah, perfect.
Exactly.
Nice.
I think it's one of my favorite champagne cocktails or sparkling wine cocktails. I think a lot of the time you put champagne in cocktails and you lose a lot of what's great about it and the other ingredients. But this drink, I think everything works really nicely.
I mean, it's the basis of the ingredients. The citrus, the sugar, the gin specifically, and the botanicals that are in it. Those 3 things alone work so well together. And then you could, I guess, ordinarily make a fizz using soda water or sparkling water instead of champagne or cava or sparkling wine.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the dryness of, say, a cava with those ingredients, and you still get the cut through of the botanicals in the gin, and you'll still get that anise, you'll still get that slight sweetness as well. And again, it's just perfect for weather.
If you still feel the juniper and all the little aromas we bring, that's just a perfect thing. And one glass was a bit bigger. No, I see. I see you make it.
I'll keep an eye on that, guys.
Very good point, though. When you're making cocktails, I think it's really crucial that the base ingredient that you're using plays a big part in the actual drink itself. And it's very easy for, let's say, a gin or a whiskey or whatever it might be to get lost if it's not necessarily balanced in the correct way. And so, classic recipes, or the basis of classic recipes like these, you often find that the actual base ingredient, in this case, the gin, really shines through. And I think for me, that's crucial in making good drinks. It's why the classic cocktails have lasted the test of time. And they're still, I think this originated about 100 years ago, or just over 100 years ago. Over 100 years ago. And people are still making it and still drinking it, which says everything that you need to know about it,
Yeah. And the bubbles mostly bring all those aromas out as well, having the bubbles in the cocktail. And dryness is very nice to keep all the juniper and gin aromas, for sure.
One tip, though, actually, I have to drink is, if you can, get all your ingredients in the fridge beforehand. So get your gin chilled, get your lemon juice chilled, so then everything's going into the glass chilled, because you don't want to mess about with ice with it, ideally, because then you're diluting it out. So if you get everything nice and cold, then you're going to have a cold drink in the glass, and including the glasses for that matter.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Cool. Great. Good stuff. Well, we're going to drink these by the pool.
Oh, damn, I'm so jealous. Yeah, enjoy, guys. Super. It's very
Paul,
nice.
thanks for joining us. It's always a pleasure, and you're always very wonderful with these tours of the distillery, which not everyone does that, and we appreciate it. So,
cheers to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tristan, Thomas, for having me. Yeah, it's always a pleasure as well to just show you around and yeah, what's come next. But let's see.
Super. All right. Well, thanks a lot, and thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time.